Hello, my friends. Jerry Rosa here, the Rosa String Works Workshop. Not working on all my cylinders today. Caught some kind of chest cold over the yesterday. Actually, it started after the vlog yesterday. I started noticing it, and it just, drainage in the throat, and not feeling too good today. Anyway, we still do have a good vlog for you, I think, this morning, and a few new things to show you. And we're going to keep it short today because of the way I feel. But anyway, first of all, I did get caught up on my paperwork yesterday, at least most of the paperwork, and a little caught up on the emails, but I didn't get through very far on the emails. I got far enough along, though, to get the CD mailed out to Richard Herbranson. So, Richard, if you're watching, the CD is on its way to you. And cash came for his lesson. And that worked out really well. And he's doing pretty darn good. If you can remember, those of you who've been around, when he first started, he could not keep time at all. And I mean, like, literally just couldn't keep time at all. And it's been a struggle all the way through, but, there's a lot of different kinds of timing issues. A lot of people think it's just speeding up or slowing down, and that's not it at all. I mean, there's a whole bunch of other kinds of timing issues besides speeding up and slowing down. And we've worked on pretty much every one of them that you could imagine. It's been a fun time. But he's done really well, and, 90% of it he's done on his own, and so I'm really proud of him. Here's Cash doing a Johnny Cash song.
I hear that train a-comin', it's rolling around the bend. I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and time keeps dragging on. But that train keeps a-rollin' on down to San Antone. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, always be a good boy, don't ever play with guns. But I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. When I hear that lonesome whistle, I hang my head and cry. I bet there's rich folk eating in a fancy dining car. They're probably drinking coffee and smoking big cigars. I know I had it coming, I know I can't be free. But those people keep on moving, and that's what tortures me. Well, if they free me from this prison and that railroad train was mine, I bet I'd move it on a little farther down the line, far from Folsom Prison. That's where I'd like to stay. And I'd let that lonesome whistle blow my blues away.
Oh, clicked the wrong button again. Like I said, I'm not clicking on all cylinders this morning. But you can see I noticed Carolyn says you need to remind him to smile. And if you saw there at the end, he looks up at me and he smiled because I was going like this, you know. Anyway, for those of you who aren't musicians or don't play, you don't realize how serious it is to a musician. And it's not, it takes all your concentration. You know, it's not like fishing. You know, people go fishing and they think that relaxes them and gets everything off their mind. No, you can be sitting on the bank or in your boat and you'll be thinking about all your problems at home while you're fishing. When you're playing music, it takes all your concentration. It takes all of it. You know, you can't be thinking about you can drift off and think about other things, but if you do, your music suffers. You know, so it takes all your concentration. And that's really what the real problem is with smiling, is you don't have enough concentration left over to smile. I know it sounds kind of silly, but if you've never done it, you'll understand. You wouldn't understand, you know. So anyway, you know, you work on all that stuff as you get better and better. But he's doing really good. I mean, those who want to be really critical could find little faults in that, you know, in terms of timing. I like on the first little rhythm break, there's a little bit of cross beat going on there, but he straightened it back out and he got back in time with himself and everything was fine, you know. So, you know, considering he's 10 years old, he did really, 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 really good. And in fact, I heard someone sent me a clip yesterday. Victor from up in Canada, my buddy up there, and his wife, they sent me a clip of young Brad Paisley playing on stage, a live deal. Now, Brad had written his own song and everything, and he was only 13 when he sang. Now, in my opinion, he did real good. Don't get me wrong. Brad Paisley did real good at 13. But Cash is right there with him. I mean, you know, I'm not saying he's better or worse or anything. I'm just saying he's right there with him. I mean, it's very equal to what Brad Paisley doing at age 13, Cash is doing at age 10. And I would just about call it exactly equal. The only difference is, like I said, Brad wrote his own song and was singing it. So, you know, Cash hasn't got into that league yet, but he's got 3 years to go to get into that league, you know, to write his own song. So he's doing really, really well, and Cash's family should be very, very proud. He's doing great. He really is, and he's got a big future ahead of him in music. And I made him promise if he gets on the Grendel Opry, he has to at least mention my name. Moving on, let's see. The Wonder Dog. She's down here wondering. Can you believe it? I mean, I'm not lying to you. Before the camera turned on, she was chewing on cords. She was just running all over the shop, carrying stuff and grabbing stuff and everything. And as soon as the camera goes live, she's dead. Just dead. Are you completely dead? Yep, she's asleep, I think. Yep, I think she's asleep. She doesn't even care. It's pitiful. Just pitiful. Well, I had to wear her out. Otherwise she was grabbing these little cords that are hanging down off my computer, you know, and all the speakers and the camera. And she pulled the camera off once. She pulled the speakers off once and pulled the microphone almost over. Today's not a good day to be doing that. I just don't feel up to it. Yolanda put out a rash of new songs last night, and I put a link in the description of this video to one of my favorites that she released. It was the Blue Bayou, and she just knocked it out of the park. I mean, just killed on it. So if you don't know who Yolanda is, check out the link in the description. I think it's the very first link at the top, I think. I'm not sure about that, but anyway, because I do have a lot of links in the description. But it does say Yolanda's Music and Blue Bayou, so just click on that link and you'll hear some really good singing. She did a really, really fine job. And she's just short of 1,000 subscribers. So just get out there and subscribe, help her out. I've gotten a rash of comments lately, and I mean a whole bunch of them. And they're self-serving if I read them and stuff, and I don't want to be self-serving like that. But it's like Mark Waddell was just one of the most recent ones, and he in his comment, it was like a private message or something. It said, "You will never know how much you have taught me on working on instruments." It's just words like that. And he's not the only one. There's been just a bunch of them lately. I mean, I couldn't even tell you how many. So I say that with a little bit of pride that, it's really nice to know that those thousands of videos that I put a lot of effort into are really helping a lot of people. And I also use that as my answer to the critics who keep saying that I should have a apprentice, or I should be teaching a young person. Well, I feel like I'm teaching thousands of people. I mean, I really do. And so I feel totally good about it. My conscience is totally clean. And I really have had a lot of feedback as of recent. It's probably more than ever, really. So I'm really happy about that. Rod Wintler, good morning from Berkeley, California. And there's Carolyn Fike and Zappa and Clyde Price. Yeah. Clyde Price says, "Good morning, Jerry and viewers. I have a genetic defect. My nose runs and my feet smell." Well, guess what? You're built upside down. That's your problem. You're built upside down because it's supposed to be the other way around. That's what my mom always said. She says if your nose runs and your feet smell, you're just built upside down. Norman Whittaback, good morning. I don't remember seeing that name before, from Arizona. Well, welcome. Paul Lanier's there. He's making his comment about his rolling sausage there. I think that's funny. Richard Herbranson again, and as you heard, I send out your CD. He asked, "Have the labels fallen out of your mandolins yet?" I noticed one of them, if it is that you glued it in with liquid hide glue. Yeah, that's about all I think liquid hide glue is good for, is putting in a label or something like that. And honestly, not in my instruments. I don't remember a label coming out yet. But I honestly have seen lots of labels come out of instruments that were glued on with liquid hide glue. In fact, they come out in one piece. The glue gets brittle and it just pops off. So I rest my case. That stuff it's just barely glue. It just is barely glue. It was a great glue back in the 1400s, 1600s, that kind of thing. But we're way past that. So anyway, what is my recommended glue for a label? Well, liquid hide glue is okay. It is okay because it sticks quickly. That's one good thing about the hide glue. But my other choice, and is just as good, is regular white glue. Elmer's glue, just regular Elmer's glue. I use one of those two almost all the time for labels. It's really, really good for labels. In fact, that'll probably last forever on a label. Dottie Hildebrand, Jerry, do you know if your Uncle Don was ever recorded so we might be able to see him? I don't think he was recorded in video form much. If he was, I don't know about it. I do have a lot of his original recordings. Most of them were from records that we found in his estate or people gave to me type thing, and they're really scratchy. I've used programs to clean them up some, but they're still really, really scratchy. If I think of it, I'll try to play one or two songs tomorrow and let you hear them. I'll try to play one off of his very, very, very first record that he ever cut. He cut it. It was just Don Brown, Norman Ford, and John Hartford. it was a long play 45 is what they call it. I think it had 2 songs on each side, and if I can remember, I'll try to play one of those tomorrow for you. Bruce Duckers there, Jeff Purist. These were all before we went live. There are a lot of comments before we went live. Got 136 viewers at the moment. I don't know where. Let's see. Looks like there's a lot of comments. I'm just skipping through, trying to get down and see if anybody has any questions or anything down. Oh man, it scrolled way up again just because it could. Carolyn Fike says, wow, Cash really improved. You just need to tell him to smile once in a while. Yep, that's the comment that made me say what I said a while ago about his smiling. You know, it really is, in his defense, it's harder to do than you think it is. It really is, especially when you're learning and new, and especially if you're doing a new song and stuff like that, you know. And being filmed, and you know, there's just a lot of stress and pressure. It's not as easy to do as it sounds like it is. It sounds like you should just be able to smile and just do it, but it's not that simple. I know lots of older folks that can't smile at all while they're playing. You know, it's just difficult to do. Peter Lovick, you will not teach Cash to smile. Guitarists always look. I know, I am doing it for more than 50 years. Yeah, well, you're basically saying what I'm saying in a different way, and that is that it's difficult. It takes pretty much all your concentration, and that's what I go out. I've done lots of programs at schools, lots of them. I couldn't even tell you how many. And especially when I'm talking to the older students, I always tell them, I said, you should really learn to play an instrument. I said, the reason is that it is the thing that as you get older, it will take all your stress away. You know, like I said, when you're fishing, you can still be thinking about all your problems. You can be on vacation that's me, I'll be honest, I'll be out on vacation and I'll be going, God, I should be back home fixing this or fixing that, you know, instead of enjoying my vacation, you know. Where when you're playing music, you really don't think about all your problems because it pretty much requires all your concentration. And it's just that different. And so that's why when I'm talking to these kids, I really recommend strongly to them. I said, you know, there's a really stressful world now that we're in. And you know, if you learn to play an instrument, you'll thank me later because you'll find out that that's the one thing that will for sure get your mind off all your troubles. At least for a little while, you know. Yeah. Vox Guitar Rock from Niagara Falls, Canada says, I have a wonder dog too. She's always wondering where the treats are. Yeah, that's kind of the way this one is. She's dead to the world. I'm seriously telling you. I didn't think I wore her out that bad this time. I played with her quite a while. You know, I usually get this ready, and then I'm anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes just waiting for it to go live. So during that whole time, I was pulling with this towel and stuff, and she just, you know, she likes to pull and stuff. And I gave her some. I don't have a chew toy handy, but I gave her this foam. You can see this foam sitting right here. It's a real hard foam. And for the longest time there, she couldn't tear it off. And then later she started tearing pieces, so I had to put it up because I'm afraid she'd swallow some of it. But that foam's really about the right density for her teeth because her teeth are like little needles, man. I mean, they are sharp, and she can dig into that really good, you know. And they're teething at this age. And anyway, moving down through here, what else did I see? Christina Thompson. Keeping you on your toes. Yeah, she is. Sadie is keep me on my toes. That's for sure. Especially about these cords and things. I gotta watch her because, like I said, the teeth are like little razors, man. I mean, they're just as sharp as they can be. In fact, she didn't bite me, but I bumped one of her teeth with my thumb because she was, opening her mouth, and I was trying to get her to shake. And anyway, just all I did was just bump one of her teeth with my thumb, and I thought I cut it. I really did. I looked at it and thought, man, that hurt. You know, I don't know. It's got some sharp teeth, crazy sharp. Your videos will also be a lovely legacy for your children, grandchildren, and generations to come. Well, thank you. Yeah, I've been even thinking about that, and like who I'm going to give all that to, because to me that's nobody really cares about it except me. I got to be honest with you, in the family, not anybody. I mean, the only one that's shown any interest at all is Trinian, and Trinian's just mildly interested. And of course, he's pretty young. Let's see. Matt Tom, and I'm not sure what this is saying. Mr. Rosa, did you that we all humans? That's all I got there. I don't know what that means. Mark's there, Mark Nasdam. Matt Tomlin comments the same thing again. I don't know what that means. Vox Guitars Rock. We had a classical guitar bridge refastened to the top a while back. 2 weeks later, the support that Tech used fell off inside the guitar. Yeah, it's, so many people believe the myth. And it is a myth that hide glue is the only thing you can use on an instrument. And and then the purists, the guys that go to the classical violin training for learning to work on instruments, and they spend apprenticeships for years and years and years, and they charge you $15,000 to $20,000 to fix a crack. Those guys only believe hide glue because that's what Stradivari used. And I say, if you just use a little bit of common sense, just this much, you don't even have to hardly think about this very hard at all. Stradivari was incredibly picky. He always used the best of anything he could get his hands on. With that mindset brought into this century, do you think he'd be using hide glue? No, he'd be using the best stuff he could get his hands on. It's just that dang gum simple. Just that simple. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure it out. He'd be laughing at these people still using hide glue in this century. He'd be looking, are you people stupid? What is wrong with you? I know he would be saying that. There's no doubt in my mind. Let's see, moving on down. There's Bill Rhodes from Warrenton again. Michael Ragusa. Ben Boyd. Cash has a very nice guitar. Looks custom. Yeah, that's a Jesse Burge guitar from down... Where is Jesse? I want to say... I get it mixed up. It's either Louisiana or Mississippi or Texas. It's one of those three, and I think it's Louisiana, but I'm not really sure. Mississippi, probably. I just can't remember stuff like that. It just doesn't work for me. Anyway, but it's a Jesse Burge guitar. Jesse made it for Cash, or he already had it made, but he sent it to Cash after he saw Cash playing on the channel here. And that was very nice of Jesse to do that. Let's see. Moving on down. Cash has a very... Oh, yeah. Okay. Bruce Hines. Jerry, I haven't said anything till now, but you have taught me tons of guitar repair and saved me tons of money in the repair and upkeep. Eternally grateful. Thank you. I have built 3 guitars. Well, that's nice to hear, Bruce. I appreciate it very much. I honestly, I am not making it up. I get those comments every day, pretty much, and there's a super rash of them lately. Just a super big rash of them lately. Yeah, he says, Matt Tommins, he's finishing his comment here that I couldn't understand before. It says, we're all teachers and students at all times. Yeah, that is true. It really is true. Mark Nasdum, Jerry, I think we need to get Yolanda to learn to play mandolin or guitar. Let's talk. Yeah, well, I think so. I really do think that that's what she needs to do. I think she needs to be playing the guitar, honestly, to sing with it. I mean, the mandolin is difficult to sing as a single instrument. It really is. It's very difficult to do. I don't do it very well myself, as I already know. You don't have to tell me. But the point is that if I was encouraging her, I would encourage her to learn the mandolin first because it's an easy instrument to learn. It's probably the easiest. I think it's easier than a bass myself. It's really simple, and the way I teach it with my lessons, she could learn it. It wouldn't take her very long. And then, because you'll understand the theory and understand the natural number system, then switch over to guitar. That's what I would recommend her do. So anyway, that's me. That's just me. Might sound self-serving, but I've had really great feedback from that training, and that's why I would recommend it very highly. Then we have someone from Germany, I'm going to just say George Hinky, and I know that's probably not how you pronounce that. G'day from Germany. I have watched many of your videos over the last few weeks. Apart from your expertise in guitar repairs, it is also about human. Thank you for all of this. Well, you are very welcome, and I appreciate your comment. Thank you very kindly. Zappa says, time to hit Amazon. Yeah, I know. It's just one more thing, that's all. After you're gone, it will be a treasure to them. Yeah, that's the thing. Nobody really cares about it right now. It doesn't care. They don't care about it. Vox Guitars Rock says, hit the thumbs up. Well, do that if you would, please. Mike Bautier, hi from Nova Scotia. Yeah, cool. Jesse Burge is in Mississippi. There you go. See, now that you say it with to confirm it, I know that. But I didn't. I knew he was from down there somewhere. Mississippi was my best guess, but I wasn't sure. I knew it was Louisiana, Mississippi, or Texas. I knew it was one of those three for sure, but I just couldn't remember. Bill Webb. Some folks came in the shop yesterday and bought a mandolin. They asked about lessons, so I gave them your email address and told them about your mandolin course. I hope they look into it. Yeah, well, good. And all you got to do is give them my web address, just rosastringworks.com, and then they can go there on the shopping page and find it. Guys, that's it, and I'm just not up to it. My ears are starting to burn now. This is not, and the sad thing about this whole thing, I don't feel that terrible. That's not it. It's just that it lasts forever with me. I am not one that can get over it like most people. Most people, week, 10 days, they're good. Not me. It's 2 months. It's always 2 months or longer. So I just dread getting a cold like this. It just hate it so bad. Because how long it lasts. It wouldn't bother me at all if it lasts a week or 10 days. I'd just be tickled with that. But anyway, that's it, guys. I'll get off here. I'm rambling. Oh, wait a minute. Did I miss a bunch of them down here? Looks like a bunch of them popped in at the last second. No, just 2 more. Mark Boudier, or I'm going to say Boudier. I don't know how to pronounce that. Love them all. Well, thanks. And Simon Jardine, I did the opposite of previous comments and gave my electric to a luthier for a full setup, thinking that another set of tools and skills I don't need to invest in. Get an expert. Merry Christmas. Yeah, I know about the expert thing. Around here, it's hard to find an expert for anything, to be honest with you. Mark says he'll bring me some chicken noodle soup. Well, I could probably eat chicken noodle soup if I had to. That's not one of my favorites, but I could probably eat that if I had to. Okay, guys, I'm going to let that be it. Thank you very kindly. We will see you with something tomorrow, and I'll try to remember to put in some of Don's songs if I can. See you then.